Hey guys, it's Andrew Esquivel here, back with another review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Honeywell HCM-350. Now, I want to talk about a few things when it comes to humidifiers and why this one's a good choice, particularly if you have hard water or well water, such as myself. So, first off, I want to talk about the structure and how it feels, is it sturdy, etc. This right here is the tank. A lot of people have problems with the tanks because they'll fill it up and it'll drip or something. I haven't really had a problem with this. As you can see, this is spring loaded, so when you put it in the little slot for it, this gets pushed through, which opens up a valve allowing water to flow into the machine. That is where it gets placed. Slides nicely in there. It is washable for the dishwasher. Some people may wonder, well, why would you do that? Well, it's actually a really good thing that this is dishwasher safe. You're supposed to use the top rack because the bottom rack supposedly is a lot hotter. It's good that you can wash this because when you have hard water, you get buildup of different minerals and other things you don't really want in the machine or in the air especially. And I want to talk about why it's really good that this is a filtered humidifier. So I'm going to explain why a filter is good by showing you an example of what happens when you don't have a filter for your humidifier. So right now we're actually in the restroom of my home. And if you look on the walls, you may wonder what the heck is all that stuff. Well, what this is a buildup of whatever deposits are in the hard water. When you take a hot shower, it creates a lot of mist, and that is, the humidity from the shower, and it gets on the walls, and when the water dries, it evaporates, and sure, the water, floats off away through the vents and whatnot, but the mineral deposits get left on the walls. So having a filter helps to capture these mineral deposits ahead of time and then only evaporate the water. So coming back to the machine, we're going to open this up and I'm going to show you a few things, and particularly the filter. And as I do this, I'm going to keep talking. So this machine can easily go through 2 of these tanks in a single day. Each tank is roughly about a gallon, maybe a little more, give or take. This can actually sit up like this and it works fine. It's not going to tip over, in other words. You got 3 settings here. You got off, high, medium, and low. If you put it on high, you'll end up going through 2 of those tanks each day, and if you have it on low, it will last about 24 hours. Now, as I take this apart, I want to go again and talk about the filter really quick. So, this thing disassembles pretty easily, although with one hand it's kind of cumbersome. So, it just comes off. You just pull it off and you get this. The air flows from the bottom up through here, so I like having this mid-level, halfway between the floor and the ceiling. Now this is the filter. Right now it's dry. When you first use this, you need to wet the filter. Do not squeeze it, do not compress it, don't do anything to it, just have it nice and wet. Now when I first got this was easily, just as white as the plastic on the machine. Now theoretically, if you use distilled water, you shouldn't have to worry about changing a filter or having mineral deposits all over your walls, because distilled water is just straight up water. Even filtered water has some minerals. So the advantage of a filter on this is the filter is only about $10. Whereas if you went and just used distilled water, you'd be paying like 88 cents or $1.50 or anywhere in between just for a gallon of distilled water at Walmart or any other place that sells it. And you start wondering, well, if you really want to use distilled water, you might want to buy a personal water distiller for your home use. But that can range anywhere from like $200 to hundreds of dollars more, and then you got to replace those carbon cartridges, or it's basically activated charcoal or something like that. So at the end of the day, just using hard water and making use of the filter ends up being cheaper, And one trick that I've been told about is the filter is something you can put on upside down, help extend the life, and wash the filter out every once in a while with just some warm water. And it helps remove some of the deposits and makes the filter last longer. But if you look down here, you can see it's actually pretty like mucky and kind of like a swamp kind of water kind of look. And once again, that's those mineral deposits. One other type of humidifier is a vaporizer. And I've actually got my CPAP machine down here just chilling for a bit. Down here, this is a vaporizer. This makes the water warm, I guess you'd say. It's got a heating plate on the bottom of it. And in this machine, you must use distilled water. That's why I have distilled water chilling right there, because it's for my CPAP machine specifically. Now, one other thing I want to talk about is not only do you have to replace the filter every once in a while, you have to replace the UV light that's on the bottom of this machine. The UV light is, I forget what type of UV light it is specifically. It will kill a bunch of the germs and whatnot inside of your water. So let's move some things out of the way and flip this guy over. So this is the underside of the machine. Right there is the UV light. Never look into that, or for the most part, don't even have it in contact with your skin or anything. That goes over here through this passageway, and the water moves slowly enough for the light to kill the germs. And then this catches the deposits. Air comes through the bottom, takes the evaporated water, or however it's getting it out, and brings it into the rest of the air. Now, I got this thing for a very good reason. You see, the air in my house during the winter is extremely dry because our air conditioning system doesn't have built-in humidity like some of them do. Ours does not. So I went and got this thing. It was like $50, and overall I would say it's definitely worth it because my skin got so dry that it was actually flaking off of my face, and when I wake up every day there would be skin on my eyelashes built up, and I couldn't even open my eyes. It got so dry in this house. It was ridiculous. And I was thinking about getting an ultrasonic one, but it didn't have a filter, and I knew that'd be a problem. So for the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the tank and turn it on. Okay, so we have our almost full tank. My sink is a little low laying, so I can't really tip it over all the way to get it nice and in there, but drop it down. You can hear the bubbles of air going in, so that you know the water is going through the system. Now the fan on this is relatively quiet, so we're going to start out with low. If the light on here changes to red, that means you need to change the UV light. I'll put in the description how long the UV light is supposed to last, because it says in the manual, and you can always buy a replacement UV light from Honeywell. So you'll notice it's actually pretty quiet, and we'll go to medium, then to high. So I'm going to turn it to low because I want to talk for a second here. First off, when this is going, do not put your face directly over it. It says so in the instruction manual, so I figure I might as well repeat it for everyone's sake to know. Second off, you should not ever see an actual mist of air coming from the machine. It will always be transparent. Another thing I want to say for the record is, even though this does have a filter and it does a good job at trapping all the gunk inside the water, distilled water has by far been the best for air quality. For some reason, distilled water in the air versus hard water or even tap water or filtered water, it just, I don't know, it makes it breathing a bit easier. So anywho, that is the review of this humidifier. hope it was helpful, and I will say before I go that it has greatly improved my health in more ways than one. The air is no longer extremely dry, and my skin is definitely not dried up as well. So it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So thanks for watching, guys. Check out my other videos, and hope it helped.